Hi, Kevin Walsh here. Last week I put out an open call in a couple of zombie groups I was in, looking for some indie books to read. And I also had some stuff that was sitting in my Amazon cart. So I thought I would do a book haul. And good news, my books came in. Now I had to pre-open the box to make sure it was actually my books and not something my missus ordered. That'd be funny open up the box only if it was frickin' oven mitts. That'd be great. And I'm sorry if the video is a little bit dark. I had to choose between a little bit dim or having the light of God blinding me from above. So I figured for your guys' benefit, seeing less of me is better than seeing more of me. So I'm just going to jump right in, open up the box. And I'll preface this by saying I want to thank all the authors that posted comments, asking for a chance to have their book reviewed. I do apologize if I didn't purchase your book. There's nothing personal. It was mostly my wallet making that decision. I could only buy so many, but I was glad to buy the ones I did. Now, there are some books that were already in my cart from before, and some of them are from authors in the group anyways. So even though I put out the open call, there's some books on there that were not on that particular thread, but there were people who had commented earlier in my previous thread who said they would love to have their books reviewed as well. So I included those as well. So I kind of joined them together and then I made my selections from there. So let's just get started. I'm excited to see how the books look, to be completely honest with you. Okay, so our first one is Storm by Keith Graham. Now this one, the cover doesn't catch me as much as the others, but it intrigues me. I do enjoy books, particularly zombie ones, that have like a geological component to it, say like a storm or anything like that, like a natural event with it. Some of them could be really cool, and I do like that added level of danger to to the regular zombie threat. It just makes the world more interesting because in a lot of zombie books, sometimes the worlds just act like, Mad Max, but with zombies in the background. Whereas this, hopefully the geological component adds more flavor to the actual world itself. And, oh, whew, wow. This font is really big. I was not expecting that. Is it bigger than the ones in here? Oh, yeah. Okay. It's not just me. Yeah. No, this is, I don't know if it's, designed that way for easy reading, but, oh, yeah, I could read that easy enough. I look forward to it. So, Keith Graham, I'm going to be doing a video review of your book sometime soon. I don't know what order I'm going to do them in. Maybe I should do them in the order from when I pick up the books out of the box. So, yeah, maybe that makes it fair for everyone. Yeah, I look forward to this, I'm excited to read everyone's books, to be completely honest. It's been a while since I've dug into reviewing again, and it feels good. My standards aren't crazy high. I wouldn't say they're low. I wouldn't say that, any story that's in coherent English is going to get my thumbs up. But I've done writing for a little bit, and I developed way more of an appreciation for the work you guys do. I never realized it was so hard until I looked into it on my own. And that's why, so if I read something and I see that something is done particularly well that I really enjoyed, that's something I'm really going to highlight. And, I wouldn't have purchased these books if I didn't think that I was going to like them to some degree, but you never know, there might be elements I might not like of any of these books, but I am going to be very honest and forthright about my opinions. I'm not going to, crap on a book on video, but I will give honest reviews of these books and give fair critiques. I feel like these authors deserve that for putting in the effort that they did. And yeah, let's get going. Let's keep going. If I keep yammering away, this video is going to be freaking an hour long. Okay, next one. Ah, yes. Mr. CIA man himself, Scott Baker. I've actually read Scott Baker before. I read his Rotter trilogy. And I didn't like book 3 in that trilogy as much as the first two. But what I do know is that he is a capable writer. And he has a good understanding of what the reader's expectations are. And he wants to deliver. And I know I see a book like this that's nice and lean. I probably should have bought the ebooks when they're this small, because buying paperbacks like this is gonna punch my wallet a little bit. But whatever doing, I like this whole little unboxing thing's actually kind of fun. So why not? If I really like it, I'm probably gonna buy ebooks for the rest of them, just because of the to save my wallet a little bit. And either way, it supports the author. I just I thought it'd be nice to own a paperback because I think I bought ebooks of. Okay, no, book 2 and book 3 I did as ebooks. I think at one point I did have a physical copy of Router World. It's kicking around somewhere in a box. I didn't have enough room on my shelf for all the books I own. And I only have one shelf. That's all I'm allowed in my basement. All right. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm going to like this just because I've read Scott Baker before. Capable, seasoned writer who delivers because he knows what the reader's expectations are, which is great. I love it when a writer understands what the reader wants. And Scott Baker definitely does that. So I look forward to this. I hope it's a quick, snappy read. And with it being this short, I'm kind of curious to see what he does to meet my reader's expectation because it's a different challenge with a shorter book. And with the Rotter trilogy, they were thicker books. They were 200-300 pages, I think. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure, they were definitely longer than this. I think book 1 of Rotter World was like probably the first 2 or 3 books in this series. And if I'm wrong, sorry, Scott. Anyways, moving on. Ooh. All right. So, Urban Gridlock by Jamie Hernandez. This is a newer author. They published a short story. I believe it was a short story in the Zombie Road fan fiction collection. Now, this might get me stabbed, but I haven't read the Zombie Road books yet. I think it was because they came out at the time when I was just completely burned out with zombie books. Like I said, I used to review them all the time. I used to read 30, 40 zombie books a year. There came a point where I just didn't even want to look at zombie stuff anymore. So it feels good to be getting back into it. And I'm reading this in the back, and it reminds me of some of those older books that I used to review. More of the conventional survival story, but that's not to downplay it in any way. These conventional stories, these more survival-based stories, was what pushed the genre into into the popular culture it is now. And when it's done really well, it's a very satisfying experience. So I hope it's done well here. And I always love seeing people's unique experiences put into these stories, and a lot of the time these stories act as a great a field for these authors to put in their own unique life experiences into the survival scenarios. So a lot of them end up being very personal. And I'm hoping that this is kind of like that. Or maybe it's just, action-packed story with a lot of adventure. Who knows? That's why I like these. These are always a huge surprise to me because I don't really know what I'm going to get 100% of the time. And there's always authors, especially nowadays, trying to reinvent it, trying to make something more original because so many of these stories have been out already. So it's more exciting than ever to read books like this because the standards are a lot higher. The bar is set a lot higher, so authors like this have a lot more to deliver. So that's why I'm kind of excited about coming back to the genre because I know for a while there was a lot of books that are just kind of coming out the same. But, I have high hopes for this. As I have high hopes for a lot of this. A lot of this newer stuff is what gets to me. Okay. I cheated a little. This is not a zombie book. But I had read a zombie book from him prior. So I thought it was only fair to purchase his newer release, which is a sci-fi horror blend with a heavier a heavier lean on the sci-fi elements. And that is Arachnocide Infestation by my man Ben Black. I read Pestilence Reigns, which was a chonker of a book. It was a long book. I bought the ebook and I was enjoying it, but it was long. It was such a big book. I'd be reading for an hour, in a night, hour or two, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm making progress. And then I look down and I'm like, oh, I've only read 2% of this, or 1, and I'm like, well, I'll get through it. And I will say it was a good experience. That's because Ben Black really takes the time to not only set a scene, but he wants to paint pictures that are different. And I really enjoyed that about Pestilence Reigns. Now, I thought maybe Pestilence Reigns could have been shortened up a bit. Like, I thought it was a little bit too long at points. Now, I'm not going to get too much into it because, well, I'm not reviewing Pestilence Reigns right now. But I just wanted to give kind of reference point to what I see here, which is another thick book. And this is, I'm getting some strong Aliens vibes off of this. And as you may not know, oh, my camera actually can't see that. But let me tilt that up. That's a ass load of Aliens books, so I'm kind of a fan. So let me tilt that back down. So I look forward to this, and that's the feeling I get. And this is a nice thick book, you know, nice easy reading. Not a huge fan of the font, but you know, with a book this thick, it's going to be a lot easier on the eyes than something like Times New Roman or anything like that. So maybe that was a good call. But yeah, this one's going to be another long one, Ben. God damn. But hopefully it's as good as Pestilence Reigns, because I did enjoy that. That was a vivid experience, and I hope you deliver again. If you're watching this, maybe you'll never find this video. Or you'll find it when you're 75, and you're like, oh, god damn. Man, that was cringy. Anyways, moving on. Arachnocide. Not a zombie book, but, you know, I kind of owe the author for that one. But I look forward to it just the same. He's still one of the written and dead authors, so he deserves to have a shot too. Now this, Planet Dead by Sylvester Barzee. I bought this cover right off the bat just because it is a sexy, fine looking cover. I mean, look at that. Come on. Come on. It's nice. It has this wicked Land of the Dead vibe to it. Very artistic, nice cover. Like, beautiful cover. I'd love to throw this on my bookshelf. Hopefully with books 2 and 3 if I really enjoy it. And, you know, very well put together, well typeset. Wow, well formatted. Wow. Did he self-publish this? Damn, Sylvester. This looks really good. I'm excited. Dang, that looks good. I can't wait to jump into it. This one is probably going to be a bit more action driven, as you could tell by kind of the branding. You know, I love action, as you know, I do read a lot of action-based stories, like, you know, Joe Ledger, right there. So zombie stories with, you know, heart with a nice survival edge and action, always going to be nice with me. But yeah, another one, a little bit leaner, but not as thin as some of the other books. But it looks like a decently length book. This is going to be a joy to read because it's well formatted. Damn. All right, moving on. I look forward to it, Sylvester. All right, I got 3 books left. All right, this one is not by... actually, I don't know if... They might be in the Written Undead group. I know that I had him on Facebook for a little while. Mr. Ricky Fleet. I've seen this book kicking around on the zombie groups for a while now, and I just never really got around to it. Don't know what happened there. Like I said, I was reading so many zombie books, and I was getting books to review. I used to review for a site called buyzombie.com. So, like, the guy who ran the site, he would always mail me books. So, like, you know, I was actually in high school at the time when I was reviewing books, and, like, I would just come home, and there would be, like, 5 packages at my door, and it was all just zombie books that were being sent to me. So, I had these obligations to review a bunch of these books that were coming in from the website. So I never got around to reading Ricky Fleet, and, you know, I must have just skipped over him when I was going through my burnout period. But here we go. Hellspawn, Book One. This is one of his, I think this is actually his first book. If I'm wrong, oh, Ricky, you could kill me. When was this published? 2016. Okay, no, that's not that long ago. I'm mixing him up with someone else, I think. Optimus Maximus Publishing. Anyways, one of the reasons why I bought this book is that this cover brings back nostalgia. There was a time, let's rewind back, around the time when The Rising by Ryan Keane came out, along with its sequel, City of the Dead and Dead Sea. There was this time period after that where there were not a lot of zombie books available. And there were people like me who were really getting into the genre, who really wanted to read zombie books in particular. but there was not a lot available. And that's where the indie genre really grew, and that's why so many indie authors came from, writing zombie books. It's because there was a demand that was there that was not being met. And there was a lot of these small presses that were popping up and publishing some amazing stuff. Library of the Living Dead was one. Severed Press, they were one of the early starters. And of course, Permuted Press. But I don't want to talk about Permuted Press right now because, I got a history with them a little bit. But it is, that was the early days, and they were putting out some really cool books. And at the time, a lot of them were looking like this, especially some of the Library of the Living Dead stuff. It has this. I don't know why, but I don't know if Jeffrey Koch, the designer, did that intentionally. I know that's his style. He likes the 3D models and stuff, and some of his covers I'm not a huge fan of, but sometimes it just works really well because it brings back that nostalgia. It reminds me back of that time back when zombie books were new and fresh and there weren't so many available, so I was like devouring them all. And I kind of hope that this brings me back to that time, back when the indie zombie scene was first rising from the dirt, if you want to use that analogy. Now, frickin' zombie books have come a long way, and there's so many zombie authors now, and so many zombie books available. It's hard to believe. As a kid, when I was a teenager reading all these zombie books, I had no idea that there would be so many. By the time I'm almost 30, and that the genre is still going strong. There are people still publishing zombie books, and there's still zombie books coming out. That surprised me, that I haven't seen before, and that's why I love this genre, because this genre is, well, I guess it can never stay dead. I guess that's one way to look at it. It's always it always finds new ways to stay fresh. But I look forward to it. I've been wanting to read Ricky Fleet for a couple of years now, and I'm going to get that chance. Another thicker book, which I'm happy about. My wallet's a little bit happy about that. All right, next. Merrill David, Wicked Awake. Now, I think he has 2 books out in this series, and I'm presuming he's working on a third. This is another one where that is a damn fine cover. Love the horror look of it, and overall just a lot like the other books. It's just very well put together, and I look forward to this, just like I do all the others. And I'm hoping with a cover like that the story matches and it just gives me that nitty gritty horror, because that's setting a high standard there, Merrill, and it looks good. I can't wait. Man, I almost don't want to put it down. I only have 2 books left. But I'm almost there, and yeah, that's cool. Okay, I was just snipping through some lines, and yeah, it looks like it's gonna be gory. Cool. I like it. I like a lot of things about the genre. That's because there's so many ways to do the genre, as I said earlier. So the last one from the group is my man, Rich Restucci, Chaos Theory. Now, he's another one that I've seen his name kicked around a lot. I've seen, he published this series called Run, and I didn't snap onto that one. I think that was at the time, again, when I was having my burnout, where I just kind of wanted to step away from zombie books, and I kind of dived hard into, like, sci-fi and action. But, I've made my return back to reading these. And I've seen Rich comment a lot. He's a cool dude, very knowledgeable. And I look forward to this. And it's been a while since I've read a Severed Press title that was a zombie book. And good old Severed Press with their little lean books. They didn't always publish them like this, but lately, over the past few years or so, they've been wanting to publish shorter books. Like, a lot of them. Like, I find almost all of their books nowadays are always under 200 pages. And it wasn't always like that. They used to publish, 300, 400 page, well, maybe not 400, but 300 page books all the time. One of which is this, 460 page chonker, which is a Tim Curran book. But as you say, I actually have a bunch of Severed Press books up here, and there's a lot of them that are kind of that are really thin, and this is going to go alongside those books very well. It's just going to slide right in. But Severed Press doesn't disappoint. Like I said, they were one of the earlier pioneers back in the indie zombie scene. Um, and, they published a lot of great voices. They were kind of like the main competitor to Permuted Press. It was like head-to-head, Severed Press, Permuted, and they were both kind of racing to put out quality zombie books. And what was kind of neat at the time was that Severed Press was putting out more, I believe. I could be wrong about this, but Severed Press definitely was putting out a lot more books than Permuted was. But Permuted was putting out some books that were like, bang, they were like classics at the time. Anyone who had read the genre had read these particular zombie titles like Empire. I think they published J.L. Bourne's Day by Day Armageddon after he self-published it. I believe. I could be wrong, but, don't hold me to it. And a bunch of other stuff. So Severed Press definitely has a storied history here with the genre. And they've published some great books. White Flag of the Dead I really enjoyed by Joseph Toledo. Resurrection by Tim Curran. And there's a bunch of others that are really cool. And, I've always been... they've actually been leaning towards monster stuff lately with a horror edge. Or sorry, not a horror edge, like an action edge. And that's cool too, because that was a genre I was turning into anyways. And it made me wonder if the publisher just knew that zombie fans would like a lot of action, horror, sci-fi stuff too. So, this one, I'm kind of tempted to take the ones that are kind of like lean and mean and just start right off the bat with them. Just go bang, bang, bang. Because, I'm probably going to, the summer's coming along now, so I'm going to be doing a lot of reading outside. And I prefer paperbacks when I'm reading outside. So maybe I should start with the thinner books and just crunch through them really fast. Or maybe I should spread it out. Who knows? Because a book like this, I could probably, if I have enough coffee, enough sunshine, I could probably do it in the evening. So yeah, I look forward to it. And now we're going to get to the last book. And this one is not from the group. And I didn't make an open call. This is an author who almost never self-promotes. Tim Curran. This guy is a master, and yet I see him, he never promotes his stuff often. He is a very underrated writer. This guy deserves way more recognition than he gets, and I know that he's very well respected in the community, and he's rubbed shoulders with a lot of great writers in the horror community. But this guy deserves way more. Nobody writes like he does. Especially when it comes to like body horror. This guy is just the king. I guess that's why they call him the Corpse King. He is just the way this guy paints horror. And he sets an atmosphere. And then he builds these realistic, flawed characters. A lot of characters that you really, some of the times you don't feel like you're rooting for them that much. But then when you do root for characters, it's really genuine. But most importantly, nobody could create monsters like this guy can. He's one of those few authors that I would love in like 5 or 10 years to just reread all his books because he's that good. He's that much of a craftsperson when it comes to his prose and the way he describes and the monsters he creates and the vivid visuals, horrific monstrosities, like eldritch horrors. This guy does it all. And and even action. Sometimes he delivers some action into his books too. And he really kills it. And this is Bloodshot Books. I bought Sea Chronicles from Bloodshot Books. And that was my first ever book from that publisher. And, that's another Tim Curran book. And I was really impressed with the layout and the formatting and how well it was put together. The one thing I had an issue with was some of the editing near the end of the book for some sentences that, that had some errors that really jarred me. And I had to reread it like 4 or 5 times to get what the meaning was. But other than that, it was very well put together. And this one, I've been looking forward to this for when did they announce it? They announced it like 8 months ago, maybe, that they announced that they were publishing a Tim Curran book. And well, now it's finally out. I've been waiting for this, and it is a doozy. It is a chonker of a book. This is even thicker than Ben Black's book down there. And it actually is like as big as my Joe Ledger books, which are like 500 pages. How big is this? 520 pages. And damn, it is. It is very well formatted, very professional. Peter Kale did a really good job on that. Or Kale? I'm gonna say Kale until he tells me wrong. And I have a feeling this is going to be a lot more action driven than some of his other stuffs. And as you can tell from the cover, it's called Bioterror, so it's going to have all that body horror, slimy goodness that he's known for, which I am damn excited for. This is one of my favorite writers. For anyone who really likes The Thing, you gotta check out Tim Curran. Like 100%, you gotta check this guy out because this guy is a master of horror. I can't talk this guy up enough. I better stop now though, because if I keep continuing, I'm not going to shut up about Tim Curran. So I'm going to slap it on the pile, and that's it. That's all the books I'm going to review. So, I want to thank all the authors who commented and linked. If I didn't get to your book, it was nothing personal. And, if I go through these fast enough, I will put out another open call looking for authors. And, I could even have some of the same authors comment, but I would like to reach out to some of the other ones because a lot of these are authors I haven't read before, and that gets me excited. I don't want to just keep rereading the same authors over and over again, unless it's Tim Curran. I can reread that guy all day. But oh jeez. So there we go. If everyone wanted to see the stack of books all together, provided I don't drop them. One of the reasons why I didn't want to buy more or buy all the ones was, well, my wallet. This came up to well over $100, which is okay with me. My wife was like, well, my wife to be, she was like, why the heck did you spend that much on books? And I'm like, you just don't understand. That's okay. She understands after the fact. I had to explain it to her. Like, I get that it's indie books, and but I still treat them like traditionally published stuff. She doesn't have a problem with me walking into a Kohl's and buying, $125 worth of books, and, I walk out with not that big a stack. The pricing on traditionally published books could be pretty expensive. Way more expensive than this. Like, these books are still relatively cheap. Well, I don't want to say cheap, but they're relatively good value compared to the traditionally published stuff. So that's why I don't hesitate to drop $100 down on a stack of books, and it's supporting authors who could really use it and who put in a lot of effort, which I would do anytime. It's just money, but that money really goes a long way to supporting these authors, and that's why I look forward to giving some honest reviews of these books as well. I have so many books to read, maybe that's why she's upset with me, is because she wants me to get through all those before I fill up my bookshelf even more, and then, having to convince her that I need a second shelf down here. But, we'll see what happens. But, anyways, thank you guys. It was a lot of fun. And I look forward to doing another video if you guys wanted to watch it. Watch out for all the authors who are watching this, whose books I selected. Just keep your eyes open. Whenever the reviews go up, I'm gonna let you know. And besides posting the videos to the channel that I opened up for book reviews, I'm also going to be posting the reviews on Amazon, so that potential readers see the reviews. And that's why I'm not also going to be biased here. I'm going to be 100% honest, because I know potential readers are going to be reading it, and honesty is what helps sell books for you guys, and it helps you guys grow as writers. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to get back into it more than anything. This is a genre that, it actually really kickstarted a love for reading for me, and I can't wait to get back into it. Audiobook or ebook or paperbacks. Any format's good, but I look forward to delving into these. I got a nice hot summer coming up, and I have a vacation coming up in 2 weeks. So wouldn't that be mad if I actually read like a handful of these during that vacation? That would be an ideal vacation. But anyways, you guys have a great day, and I can't wait to delve into this. All right, bye.